So I'm on my way back home from a rainy day. I don't know if you can see it. I know you can probably hear it. A rainy little, I guess we could call it a photo walk. I went out into Old Town and with a couple of rolls of kind of different types of film. I took some Portra 400 with me. I've been on a Portra kick lately. I've really been enjoying the colors. Maybe because it's fall and you got and it's been raining, so the colors in out here in the world, they're like really muted, and you got those beautiful fall leaves. I took out the Minolta Highmatic 7S2 with some Portra and with the express purpose of finding just the trees with the orange leaves and then all that, just the fall colors in general. So I went out with the express purpose of finding fall colors with that little Minolta. But today, what I'm doing, that was the other day. Today, what I'm doing is I came out with the Nikon F6 right here. This is, don't do this while you're driving ever. Okay, took the Nikon F6 with a 24-70 F2.8. Officially, the name is the AFS Nikkor 24-70 1-2.8G, which is a gelded lens. A gelded lens means there's no aperture ring, and it's ED means it's got extra low dispersion glass, which is that magic glass that Nikon uses to do away with ghosting and flaring and that kind of stuff. This is a pro lens. Okay, it's got a nice little professional build, and the lens barrel is all metal, and the zoom ring is actually back here. It's got a pretty largish zoom ring, as you can see, and it's right next to the body, which works really well. And the focus ring is here. It's just a grab and focus. Nikon labeled this manual, M for manual, and then MA for manual auto. I guess that just means that even if you're in autofocus, you can still grab the ring and start focusing. It's got a short focus throw. It doesn't stop, just like most modern lenses. The old like AI glass, it would stop and you couldn't turn it anymore. These modern lenses, they keep going, but you do feel, you hear that? You do feel when you hit the end, but you can continue to turn past that. It's got great glass. I'll put the glass and the number of elements and all that. I don't know that off the top of my head. I'll put that up here for you to see. It's, as you can see, the movement here. See how it jumps back and forth there? The cool part about that is when you have the lens hood on there, and by the way, this lens hood is much nicer than what you would see on pretty much any other non-professional Nikon lens. There's actually metal springs in here. Most lens hoods are kind of cheap plastic, and they're all 100% plastic. This one fits really tightly. There's an actual release button that's spring loaded. So anyway, but compared to like the 24-120 or something like that, this lens hood is it's much better build quality. See, once it snaps into place there, it's on there. You can loosen it, of course, but it's on there pretty good. All right, but if you look at the lens movement within the lens hood, and this actually came in really handy today because I was out in the rain, so you can see how it moves. It never leaves the cover of the lens hood. You see that? It kind of stays in there the whole time. So that's kind of a nice feature. It really was helpful today because it was raining, so the lens hood kept water off of the front element. And this is a weatherproof lens. It has the right here, this is just like a rubber gasket to keep water from getting in in the camera body. And the Nikon F6 is one of the most weatherproof cameras that Nikon ever made. If you look at my F6 review, you can see that. But yeah, this 24-70 constant aperture 2.8. It's real popular with wedding photographers. It's a really sharp lens. But truth be told, every prime lens, pro prime lens that Nikon makes that covers this range, is actually sharper. Even though this is a very sharp lens, if you get like, for example, the 24 1.8, if you get the 85 1.8 or the 1.4, if you get a 50 1.8 or 1.4, all of those lenses will be sharper, lighter, and faster than this lens. But this lens kind of gives you all of those zoom ranges, or the focal lengths in one package, albeit a kind of heavy package. It's not light, but it's not terribly heavy, but it's not light. Nikon replaced this with the 24-70 F2.8 VR, and which makes it a lot bigger, heavier, and it actually I've heard the opinion from pretty much everybody that's compared them that this is actually a better, sharper lens. The only thing you're literally missing is VR. I don't think the glass is any better in the VR model, and this particular model is a super sharp lens. And when I say those primes are actually better, I mean we're talking about at 100% crop. You really have to look at them to see that. Okay, so I really enjoyed going out with this kit here. This whole outfit is a really nice kit. I usually like to walk around with the Leicas, or even my fixed length, point and shoots, because they're much lighter, they're easier to whip around. And this one, it takes a little to walk around with. It's not a very inconspicuous camera for street photography and that kind of stuff. So, but in any case, I made it a point. I wanted to go out with it. I wanted to try this combination. I wanted to use some top quality film, that Raleigh film. I'm really excited about looking at the results from the Raleigh film, the RPX. And I love Portra. Portra is just beautiful. And like I said earlier, it's a nice rainy day. Everything is soaked, and which gives everything a nice muted tones. It's just beautiful. I'll mention one thing about this lens in terms of getting a used one. That most of these lenses, they're really expensive. I think the original, like the new price, is around $2,400 when they were being sold new. I don't know if they still are. The replacement is right around that. It's right around $2,400. You can find these used for $700 to $800, a little bit beat up. Like you can see, mine's a little scratchy or whatever. It's not terribly so. It's clean enough on the inside. It's got some whatever scratches, but so from $700 or $800 in worse condition than this one. This one is in okay condition. It's not minty. It's not rough. This is okay. You can get them like this for, like in this condition, like $1,000. You can get a minty one about $1,200. You can get a rough one that still works for around $800. And if you run across one at a good price, I highly recommend picking it up. You may not use it every day due to the size and all that, but if you don't mind the size, I think you'll be well rewarded with the optical quality, and the build quality is great, and they're really durable lenses. The only thing that I'll mention is watch out for really beat up ones, because the pros do buy these, and pros lug their stuff all over the place, and they get slammed on the floor sometimes. They drop stuff sometimes, so you can potentially end up with a really beat up one due to the fact that a lot of professionals buy these. Although pros, they take care of their equipment, but but not all of them. Just some. So guys, this is the Nikkor AFS 24-70 F2.8. If you find a nice clean one at a good price, highly recommend go get you one. Thanks.